Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It is 2:13 p.m. on Tuesday, December 27th, 2022. It's a short week this week. What I'd like to do is I'd like to take a little bit of a look at the S&P 500 today. I want to do this pretty quickly. Before I get into all of this, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and this is just my opinion on the market. So let's go ahead and move on over into the good old chart. So I'm sitting here looking at the 30-minute time frame on the S&P 500. Basically, I'm just waiting for a good break above 38.48 before I consider taking any short-term calls. We've basically been looking at that area as pretty strong resistance ever since last Friday. So for the last couple trading days, that's been our resistance, and it was also created going all the way back here to last Wednesday, the 21st of December. We also have, this is the breakout area. We'll call it the gap area. And so we broke up above that and we consolidated for a little bit. And then we opened basically at that gap. And we've been sort of trading lower ever since then. So, when I look at this, I'm looking at this as the potential for a completed wave 1. And I believe we are in the middle of working on wave 2 right now. And again, wave 2, I'm not expecting to complete until probably Friday this week, or maybe even, Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday next week. So, I'm watching that. We do have a little bit of a squeeze going on here on the 30-minute time frame. That's been going on basically for the duration of the day today. But looking at the subdivision of this move that we've had, it's actually pretty clean. We've got a nice 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3. We've got a wave 4. And then we get this wave 5, which would go into a wave 1. This actually works out pretty well. I'll go ahead and move this down here. And inside of this move right here, we can also count this in a really good subdivided move. We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got a wave 5. And I'm not going to try and go any deeper into that, although I could find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here to complete this wave 3. But so far, so good. This still does look pretty impulsive to the downside. What I would probably expect to happen from where we're at right here, I would probably expect another move down here for this support area right at about 3,800. And then I'd be looking for a move up to break up above this area. And what I'd like to see is something a little bit like this. Maybe we do a little consolidating there going into Friday, which I would expect to be a pretty green day. So this is really where I'm expecting the market to go based on the price action that I see right now. Of course, futures did go up and test 3,900, which is about 3880 or 3885 on the index. So really, if you're looking at futures and you're trying to do a comparison for where the market was at, we sort of topped out right here in this range. And that's a really good area for a rejection, at least in overnight. Now, I do expect futures to go back up and at least test that area. I really am still looking for a move up here into 3,900 to 3,920, closer to the end of this week, and again, potentially the beginning of next week. So, ultimately seeing that price action move up a little bit into the end of the week is really what I'm looking for. Going into the subdivision here, let me go ahead and sort of go into this just a little bit. I'm going to go to a 15-minute. We'll take a look at this a little bit more. Really what I'm looking at from right here, a nice little A, B, C, and that would go up into this move right here. And then from there, I think probably more than likely we're in an A, a B, a C, right? So that would be the completion of a larger A and then a B, and then we go up for wave C, of course, on a higher degree, which would complete our wave 2, which will also increase the degree on that so that it's easier to differentiate the difference between the subdivided waves. So now that we've got, a potential path down here into wave B, let's go ahead and measure this from Fibonacci perspective. So again, we're going to take this dominant pivot low, and we're going to take this dominant pivot high, which is actually right around here. Looking at that move there, we would be looking for a move down here to, again, about 38.05 to 37.95. So somewhere in this range is more than likely where we're going to see that support that we are going to be looking for. And again, it's probably not going to happen today. It's probably going to happen tomorrow. Would make a whole lot of sense. I'm going to change this color to green because this is going to be really where we're going to be expecting there to be a little bit of a bounce. And again, what we could be seeing here is a 1, 2, and then we could get this 3, 4, 5 to finish that move there. So, I mean, it could be that we do something that looks a little bit like this. I mean, it could be also that we do see, further resistance here at that 38.48 before we do see that push up and through. We've tested this 38.48 area, or really rather 38.43 to 38.48, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 or more times we have tried to push up and through 38.48. So I'm not going to consider any calls on the S&P until either we get down here into this area and we start to find some good support, in which case I would expect this wave C to be in of a larger wave B, and then looking to see a move to get back up here and ultimately see a move up there to 39.21. If we don't get price action up to 39.21, that's really not that great. And actually, what I'd be willing to bet is that our downside targets are actually going to be lower than what I'm currently projecting. I am interested in taking an upside play here in the next day or two. We actually took one today where we bought some leveraged ETFs down here. I ended up selling them right around here. We were able to get, a little bit of a gain on that play. But really, puts have been what have been paying out. We've been making money off of Tesla and Apple puts here recently. We had some really, really great plays last week as well on some other assets, including Tesla. But at the end of the day, what I think is probably going to happen, we are going to see a little bit of downside going into maybe the end of the day today, which really it's really close to the end of the day as it is. We only have about 100 minutes left in the trading session today. And then going into tomorrow, a gap down would be ideal, which would then would be good for a move to the upside going into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week. So that would be the ideal play, right? If we get back down here to this 37.60 area, then chances are pretty good we are going to be seeing a significant move to the downside, because what this looks like right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if this is a finished correction, we barely corrected at all, and that is very, very weak. So if we are correcting this entire move here, and we didn't even get to the 382. This looks like we have a rejection right now at the 236, which is exactly where it's at. Let me go ahead and just make that 236 a little more pronounced so that you can see that, and I'll remove some of the other guys here as well. That rejection right there at that 236, which is at 38.4173, you can see this is a good area that we have been rejecting here at this 236. If this is the rejection that we get for a wave 2, then, wave 3, because of the velocity that we had in this first wave, if we do have that as our wave 2, and if wave 2 is done, which I don't think it is, but if it is, our downside target now quickly becomes all the way down here at about 3,300, and that would be going into the about mid-January. That would be a severe cut to the downside, and of course it would obviously be new lows, which, if we're looking at the current lows, we're looking right here just below 3,500. But seeing a move down here to the 1618, potentially to the 175, where it does tend to gravitate towards, Let me throw the 1.75 on here as well. That would be a move right there to about 33.12, which is right at the top of our our bear zone, where we're looking at the completion of a particular move to the downside. And again, I've been talking about this going down here all the way into maybe the end of January or maybe even into February. But again, if we don't get that push up, right? If we're not going to get this push up going into the end of the week and potentially early next week, well, that's not that great, right? We really want to see a move up here for things to remain healthy. But it certainly, it looks like we're going in for a wave C here before we see, that third move up. And from there, I believe we're going to see a rejection. So for now, this is what I've got on the S&P. Really not looking to take any calls unless we get up above 38.48, in which case I would be looking to get some calls going into the end of the week this week or early next week. So giving it a little bit of time, maybe playing a spread or something along those lines. And then from there, looking to get short again, at least for now. Looking at higher time frames, if I go to a daily, right? So, and again, you can see what my larger count is on this. On the daily, we're trying to get a bit of a cross up on the daily here, but longer terms, this I believe is the 3-day, is crossing down. So any move to the upside is likely going to be short-lived, and we will be starting to see a move going to the downside as as time goes by. So again, be on the lookout, play very carefully. What we're looking for is this move going up into the end of this week or early next week before we see that continuation move to the downside. All right, that's what I've got on the S&P. I believe that I was pretty clear on what my view is. Again, it's just my opinion. If this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, share. If you need access to our Discord, you can find that information on BitDoctor.org, and you can also find a link to our Discord right in the video description. And last but not least, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.